Social Security and SSI. Dates, acronyms, rules. It feels like a maze. But today, we're making it simple.
Navigating Social Security payments can feel like being trapped in a maze of dates and rumors.
October brings 2 checks, but is it really a bonus or just a shift in the system?
And every year, one question rises above the rest. Are you getting an extra bonus check in October 2025?
The truth is, not all Social Security payments are created equal. Knowing your schedule is key to managing your money.
The answer is both simple and surprising. You will see 2 payments, but the reality of what that means for November changes everything.
Okay, let's just jump right in. The world of Social Security and SSI payments, well, it can feel like you're trying to navigate a maze of dates, rules, and acronyms, right? But don't you worry, today we're going to clear all that up. We're going to demystify the entire 2025 schedule so you know exactly when your money is coming and, just as important, why.
First things first, we've got to tackle a rumor that seems to pop up every single year. You've probably heard the buzz, the whispers about getting an extra, a bonus check in certain months. October 2025 is one of those months. And yeah, there's a lot of confusion around it. So let's get to the bottom of it once and for all.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If you're an SSI recipient, you look at the calendar, you see 2 payments scheduled for October, and you start thinking, wait a minute. Did the Social Security Administration just send me some extra cash? Let's look at the actual facts. And here it is, in black and white. This confirms what you're seeing. If you get SSI, you're going to see a payment on Wednesday, October 1st, and then you'll see another one on Friday, October 31st. So yeah, 2 payments land in your account in the same month. So what gives? What's the catch?
And there you have it. That's the big reveal. The second check isn't a bonus. It's not extra money. It is simply your November payment showing up a day early. This is the key detail that trips so many people up. You're not getting more money over the year. The timing is just shifted a bit.
So why does this even happen? Well, it all boils down to this one simple rule from the Social Security Administration. They want to make sure you have your money in hand by the 1st of the month. See, in 2025, November 1st lands on a Saturday. So instead of making you wait, they send the payment on the last business day before it, which happens to be Friday, October 31st. The results? You get 2 payments in October, but then you get 0 in November.
Okay, so let's move on because this is where things get a little more complicated. That whole early payment rule, that's really just for SSI folks. For most people getting Social Security retirement or disability benefits, the system is completely different. Your payment date has nothing to do with the 1st of the month. It's tied to something a lot more personal. So here's how the main system works for most people. If you started getting your benefits after May of 1997, your payday is all based on your birthday. Simple as that. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of your birth month, you get paid on the 2nd Wednesday. Born between the 11th and the 20th, your day is the 3rd Wednesday. And for everyone else, born from the 21st to the end of the month, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday.
So let's just break it down one more time. You've basically got 3 main payment schedules. You've got SSI recipients who get paid on the 1st. You've got most retirees on that Wednesday schedule that's based on their birthday. And then there's a third group, folks who started getting benefits way back before May 1997, or people who get both Social Security and SSI. Your payment date is always the 3rd of the month. Knowing which bucket you fall into is absolutely key to managing your budget.
Now, we've been throwing the term SSI around a lot, but it gets mixed up all the time with another program, Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI. They sound similar, and they both help people with disabilities, but trust me, they are fundamentally different animals. Let's quickly break it down.
The difference here is absolutely crucial. Think of SSI as a needs-based safety net. Your eligibility is based not just on your age or disability, but also on having very limited income and resources. SSDI, on the other hand, is an insurance program. It's something you earned by working and paying Social Security taxes. That difference also decides your health insurance. SSI usually qualifies you for Medicaid, while SSDI gets you into Medicare, but typically after a 24-month wait.
Okay, enough about dates. Let's talk about the part everyone really cares about, the money. How much are we actually talking about for 2025? There are several key figures that have been updated, and they're going to impact every single person receiving benefits.
The biggest number that affects everyone is the COLA, or the cost of living adjustment. For 2025, that increase is 2.5%. What does that actually mean? Well, it's basically a raise that the SSA gives you to help your benefits keep up with inflation, as the price of everything from gas to groceries goes up. So, starting in January 2025, all Social Security and SSI payments will be bumped up by that amount.
So what does that 2.5% COLA mean for SSI recipients? Well, the new maximum federal payment for an individual is now $967 a month. Now, it's really important to remember that word maximum. Your actual payment could be lower depending on your income, where you live, or if your state adds a little extra on top.
And for a married couple where both spouses are eligible for SSI, that maximum federal payment goes up to $1,450 per month. And just like with the individual amount, this is the federal baseline number before any deductions or potential state supplements are figured in.
Now, this next number is super important for anyone on SSI. It's the resource limit. To stay eligible, a person can't have more than $2,000 in countable resources. We're talking things like cash in the bank. For a couple, that limit is $3,000. This is a very strict rule, and going over it can jeopardize your benefits, so you really have to keep an eye on it. All right, let's shift gears for a minute, because payment schedules and amounts aren't the only things changing. For 2025, the Social Security Administration is rolling out two major system-wide changes, and these are ones you absolutely need to be aware of. First up, it's truly the end of an era. The SSA is officially phasing out paper checks. The paper check is going the way of the dodo. Now, this move is meant to make payments faster, more secure, and cheaper for the government. But if you're one of the folks still getting your benefits in the mail, this means you have to take action. Here's your action plan, and it's pretty straightforward. Step 1, mark your calendar. The deadline is September 30th, 2025. You have to switch by then. Step 2, you've got options. You can either sign up for direct deposit straight into your bank account, or you can enroll in the Direct Express debit card program if you don't have an account. And Step 3, just get it done. The easiest way is to use your My Social Security account online, but you can also just call them. Seriously, don't wait on this one. The second major change is all about overpayments. When the SSA accidentally pays someone more money than they were supposed to get. In the past, getting that money back was a bit of a slow process. Well, starting in 2025, that's changing in a big way. The agency is getting much more aggressive.
The new reality is pretty stark. If the SSA says you have an outstanding overpayment and you haven't worked with them to set up a repayment plan, they can now withhold up to 50%, half, of your monthly benefit until that debt is paid off. This could obviously have a huge impact on your budget, so if you get an overpayment notice, you have to address it immediately.
So with all these complex schedules and all these changes, the most important thing you can do is take control of your own finances. Especially in those double payment months we talked about, a little bit of planning can prevent a whole lot of stress down the road. Here are some really practical steps you can take. When that second payment shows up on October 31st, you have to mentally, or even physically, label it November's money. This is so critical because you won't get another payment until December 1st. That check has to last the entire month of November. Building up even a small cash cushion can also be a lifesaver. And hey, don't be afraid to call your utility or mortgage company. A lot of them will let you shift your due date to better match up with when you get paid.
We've covered a ton of ground here. Payment schedules, benefit amounts, huge system changes. The Social Security system is, without a doubt, complex. It's a web of rules built up over decades. But the good news is, you now have a map to help you navigate the year ahead. But it does leave us with one last question to think about. Is a system this complicated truly serving the millions of Americans who depend on it for their very survival?
This year's changes are big, but with the right knowledge, you can take control of your benefits and your future. So, what's the truth behind the two-payment myth? And more importantly, what are the other major changes coming in 2025 that you absolutely must know? It's time to demystify your benefits and take control. Let's get started.